off we go. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on BWC Internet Radio with Corey Bender. I'm Ryan Hartson. On the program today, we are breaking down the NBA Finals as we continue to move forward. Game 5 was interesting for a variety of reasons. It was high scoring. LeBron James played horrible in the fourth quarter again.
Shocker.
And it was just all around a strange game. This has been a weird series.
Yeah, very unpredictable.
Yeah, it's just been a weird series, and now pretty much it's a 2-game sprint to the finish to see who we crown an NBA champion. But of course, as every other media outlet on the planet this afternoon is going to be talking about, LeBron James and his pathetic performance last night.
Yeah.
Now, but before we get to that, I've been saying here for a while now that I can't figure out why everyone hates LeBron that isn't in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not in Cleveland, why do you hate LeBron? He didn't do anything to you. And so I always thought the LeBron hate was really unwarranted, and it made no sense to me. And to be indicting him after every game, like the entire playoffs is an indictment on his career, which I thought was kind of crazy. Like, why would you give someone a legacy when their career isn't even over? I understand talking about Kobe's legacy because he has one. LeBron came to Miami to make a legacy. Now, you might call me crazy, but I think I figured it out.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with sports. Let me give you I have 3 examples of this.
Sure.
Number 1 is Brett Favre. Now, you and I, because we're Packer fans, were driven crazy when Brett Favre went to the Jets, and we were mad at him for leaving and all of that. But we're in Green Bay. Nationally, it's the best thing for the sport, it's the best thing for him, it's the best thing for his situation. Nobody was mad about him. And we all killed LeBron. Think in your own head the difference between Brett Favre and LeBron James. Next example, Wayne Gretzky in Edmonton. He goes to play for the LA Kings. Obviously, everyone in Edmonton is really pissed off, and that's Edmonton, and they should be able to do whatever they want because they're crazy fans.
Yeah.
But everybody else was like, it's Wayne Gretzky, it's the best thing for the league that he plays in a major market. We weren't mad at him. Think in your own head about the difference between Wayne Gretzky and LeBron James.
Yeah.
Third and finally, Steve Nash. He played in Dallas with Dirk Nowitzki. He leaves to go to Phoenix. Everybody says it's the best thing for him. He's going to have better players. He's going to have a better head coach. And it's going to be better for him. He hasn't been back to the finals. Dirk Nowitzki has. Regardless, he left. No one killed him for it. We all killed LeBron. Think about the difference between Steve Nash and LeBron James.
Yeah.
What's the difference between these 3 players and LeBron James?
They all have legacies.
No.
No.
No. It's
Really?
much simpler than that. These 3 guys that I gave you are white. LeBron James is black. It's race.
All right.
The reason we hate LeBron James is because it's a black guy making decisions for himself.
Okay.
It's why all the Republicans still hate Obama. I think the LeBron hate is racism. We didn't kill Favre. We didn't kill Wayne Gretzky. We didn't kill Steve Nash. They all did pretty much. It's not exactly the same thing because Gretzky was traded without his knowledge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still kind of the same thing, leaving somewhere you're famous for being and going somewhere, going to greener pastures, if you will. And we didn't kill any of them, but we killed LeBron. We don't kill the white players, but we kill the black player. Okay. I think it's the racist people in this country that hate LeBron James. If you're not racist, like you and I aren't, obviously we have no problem with what LeBron James did.
I don't care.
I think there's still enough discrimination in this country, and it's pounding away at LeBron James, and that's why we still hate him. It might be subconscious. Call me crazy. It might be subconscious. But that's the reason that so many people in this country still hate LeBron James, because it's a black guy doing something for himself. And I think that's disgusting.
Yeah. I find that disgusting too.
There's nothing else I can think of, because he's an extremely likable guy. He's playing with 2 other guys, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. I mean, these are 3 of the most likable guys in the NBA.
Yeah.
And yet we hate them. Why? Because it's the 3 black guys making decisions for themselves. It's why the Republicans still hate Obama.
Yeah.
And it's not like out in the open like Martin Luther King Jr. was. You know, it's not out in the open. We're not like throwing stones and shooting at them.
Well, that's because we've actually had some resolve over the past years.
It's mental, it's subconscious, and I think it's race. I think the LeBron James haters, if you hated Steve Nash, you hated Wayne Gretzky, and you hated Brett Favre, and you hate LeBron James, You're not racist. You're just stupid. No, people can't move to have better situations for themselves. That's crazy. That's not fair. Now, you're the stupid people. But if you were like, oh yeah, Wayne Gretzky going, changing teams, yeah, that's fine.
Who cares?
And then LeBron James goes to Miami, he can't do that. He betrayed Cleveland. It's racism. It's just plain and simply racism. Okay? So that's half of it is the LeBron hate. The other half of it is with how he's been playing.
Lately, yeah.
I'm done with LeBron in this series. I am done thinking he's going to come back, because we both said the last time we did a show, he's going to come back and he's going to have a big game. He didn't. Now he had a triple-double. I don't care about that. Sorry, I don't. It was through...
A triple-double with, like, really low points.
17 points, 10 and 10. Yeah, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Great. Not impressed. But then in the fourth quarter, he shrunk. He barely had the ball in his hands. He made one or two plays. The layup he had at the Dallas let him score because they were trying to get quick buckets.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to foul him.
He missed a couple open shots, too, and, he didn't have a
good game. People will say he's not clutch. Is he clutch? Yes. He's been clutch. He's shown that he's a clutch player. However, he was clutch in the second round of the playoffs and the conference finals. The NBA Finals, the pressure that is on you is jacked. It is way more pressure in the NBA Finals than it is in the conference finals and than it is in the second round of the playoffs. To do something in the second round of the playoffs, you can do the exact same thing in the finals, and you're a hero in the finals, and nobody really cares when you do it in the second round. It's completely different. There's a different set of pressures. There's way more focus on you, if that's possible for LeBron James. And I think there's so much pressure on him. Everybody is paying attention to him. Everybody hates him for no reason. Everybody's angry at him. There's just so much hatred and pressure, and I think LeBron is folding under it. I think the moment is too big for him. That's why he's missing wide open shots. That's why he's trying to get away from the ball. He is just tense. He's tight. He plays 46 minutes a game in this series. Yeah. That's way too many minutes for anybody.
Yeah.
So, and he's been doing it. He's 44 minutes a game the entire playoffs, 38 minutes in the regular season, so they've jacked up his minutes. I think he's tired, and I think the moment is too big for him. I think there's way too much pressure on LeBron, and, it's probably fair, but at the same time, there's way too much pressure on him, and I think the moment is too big for him, and I don't think he can handle it. I think this year in particular, I don't think he can handle it. Maybe in future years he'll be able to. He'll mature even more, because we've always said he's still kind of an immature guy at 26 years old.
Yeah.
He's still an immature guy, so maybe he's going to develop more down a few years from now. Right now, the pressure is way too much for him, and he can't handle it. That's how you can explain having a nice game, not a great game, a nice game through three quarters, but then being crap in the fourth quarter, because he felt the moment, and he couldn't handle it. And you and I both know what that looks like from dealing with a quarterback in Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers that has choked in the fourth quarter time and time again until this season. Till last season, till 2010. In 08 and 09, he choked in the fourth quarter every single time.
Yeah.
He's turned that around now, which is nice, but we know what it's like watching a superstar, the best player on a team choke.
Yeah.
And that's clearly what this looks like to me. This looks like LeBron James choking in the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to say good things about him when he does good things, but 5 games, 11 combined points in the fourth quarters of those games. This moment, the conference finals moment wasn't too big. This moment is.
Yeah.
So I'll ask, is it strange that you can be clutch in the conference finals, but then all of a sudden it's the NBA finals and you just can't handle that? Like, you can handle a ton of pressure, but when it gets to the kind of pressure that, made Roman emperors blow up, which is what this pressure is, you folded that. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Maybe there's only select people that can maybe take that pressure, hence your Michael Jordans, or hence maybe your Bill Russell, winning all those titles. Maybe he's just not ready yet. I think after this whole season, I said at the beginning of the year they weren't going to win it, but then I changed my opinion. But maybe this year, give him this off season. If there's going to be a next season at all, this whole lockout situation, you have to give him some time. He's still 26 years old. Let Dwayne Wade maybe mentor him a little bit, because this is his second NBA Finals and he's won already.
Right.
Maybe he has some time to develop. Okay, replay the situation in your head throughout the summer. You couldn't do this, but prove them wrong, because he can prove any of his doubters wrong. It's just maybe He's just not ready. I think this whole thing over the summer of last offseason, of the whole decision, and maybe it just got back to him. I mean, throughout the course of the season, he's blown them off. The media's been up his ass all the time. But you know what? Maybe he'll finally get over it once the season is over. And if Dallas does win the title, I think it won't really come back to haunt him. He'll look for redemption in my mind. But I think it's fine to be clutch during a conference finals, and NBA finals are a whole other story, like you said. But you know what? It's all about timing. I mean, let's face it too. I mean, the Bulls weren't that much of a threat to him, but he was still very dominant in the series. I mean, you can't go back and say no, he didn't do anything good in the series.
Well,
no.
I'm not saying he didn't.
No, I'm joking.
He obviously did, but now he's not.
Yeah, that's going to happen, though. He's only went to one NBA Finals, and that's when he was the entire team. They were the Cleveland LeBron James, and that's all you can say.
But he's not now. Now he has teammates, and he is choking down the stretch.
I get that, yeah.
You can't.
No, there's no excuse for that.
There is no way to sugarcoat it. In the fourth quarter, he has shrunk. Whether he's checked out mentally or not, I don't care. He's shrunk in fourth quarters. 11 points in. This has been 5 games. It's not like one bad game. 5 games, an entire series.
That's why
he has not been clutch in the fourth quarter.
That's why I'm saying
you can't justify it.
Yeah, like over the summer, if Dallas does win Game 6 or whatever, they win the finals, he'll probably work on his mental state over the summer, I hope, and I think he'll be fine. But for this series, it looks pretty much about over. You never know. I don't want to check out on a team that's in the NBA Finals out, but the way LeBron's been playing, there's no excuse for getting that many points in the fourth quarter. And I think it's fine that he's getting some criticism, but like me and you said, you know, it's a little bit too much. And I agree, it could be racism. But I've heard, I mean, a lot of people ridiculed Brett Favre for all of his stuff that happened. I mean, it's not like just...
A lot of people that we pay attention to because we're Packer fans. Nationally, it wasn't
Nationally, I guess, a little bit. A lot of people were getting pissed off that, you know, he's making all these, you know,
It was more the retiring and unretiring with him. I know the situations aren't exactly the same, but we didn't kill him.
No.
Like, we're still killing LeBron.
Yeah, we are.
And we're not still killing Brett Favre. We're still killing LeBron like 8 months removed. Yeah. Like, it's time to stop.
Yeah, I agree with you. It could be racism. I think it might be. It's been replayed in my head a few times, you know, going, you know, he's black and he's very rich and he's very popular, so maybe people are jealous of him, and that's just idiocracy in my mind.
That's what it is.
I mean, we both hate racists, and you know what? I don't think they should be allowed to get pissed at off of LeBron just because of the color of his skin. But yeah, that's an argument that they're not going to really care about. So that's kind of how I see LeBron, is maybe it is racism. I don't know.
Yeah, and he has to play better in the next 2 games.
Yeah, of course.
Like, he has to play better in the next 2 games. All this stuff, you can really throw all this stuff out the window because there's still 2 games for him to be great. But the moment looks too big. And
I know.
It just looks like he can't handle it. It's like when the lights are at their absolute brightest, he just puts on sunglasses. He doesn't deal with it, you know?
I know you've sold him out, but, you know, I'm not going to go against him. I believe that he'll have some redemption, and if not, you know, I'm wrong. I don't really care.
I'm not saying he can't redeem himself next year. I'm saying right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now I think he has a slim chance just because I've seen him been clutch before in other series. But I don't know. I don't want to sell him out just because I think he's a great player. But, you know, 99% of my gut is saying it's all over. But that one little percent is saying, okay, he still has one word. He has Game 6 to clean this up. And maybe the rest of his team can help him and carry him out because he has 2 other great players on his side. You know, you never know. I'm not going to go against the Miami Heat team that barely loses at home in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, all right. Let's good stuff with the LeBron stuff.
Yeah.
There's really not much else we can say on this. The LeBron thing is the mess. So we wanted to make the LeBron thing one segment so we can just move past it, and now we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the
X's and O's.
Yeah, the X's and O's, the meat of the NBA Finals. I think we're kind of ignoring the key to the series. The mainstream media is ignoring what the actual key to the series is, and I have the answer. We'll talk about it next with Corey Bender. It's Ryan Hartson on BWC Internet Radio.